OMG, I hope this isn't true. There's a story making the rounds that hits a nerve in the U.S. labor market. A former U.S. consular officer says that while working in Chennai, she encountered fraud in 80 to 90% of H-1B visa applications she reviewed from India. Fake degrees, fake transcripts, fake bank statements. Entire ecosystems she claims built to game the system. If that number, 80 to 90%, is even partially true, it's staggering. Because the H-1B visa program is supposed to do one thing: allow U.S. employers to hire highly skilled workers when they can't find qualified talent at home. It's not supposed to be a loophole. It's not supposed to be a volume business. And it's definitely not supposed to reward document mills and coach interviews. Now, let's be careful here. This is not an argument against immigrants, and it's not an argument against skilled foreign workers. America has always benefited from global talent, and it still does. Entire industries, technology, medicine, research depend on it. The real issue here is a system design. When a program becomes so opaque, so overloaded, and so politically sensitive that fraud investigations are labeled rogue operations, you don't have an immigration policy problem. You have a governance problem. And here's where this collides with the labor market. If fraudulent or marginal candidates enter through H-1B pathways, the impact isn't abstract. It shows up in wage suppression. It shows up in stalled careers for early career U.S. workers. It shows up in employers quietly preferring visa holders who are easier to control, easier to underpay, and less likely to leave. At the same time, restricting the program too aggressively doesn't magically create American workers. It just pushes work offshore, to India, to Canada, to anywhere talent can be hired without U.S. friction. That's the paradox no one wants to admit. So the solution isn't open the gates, and it's not shut it all down. The solution is radical transparency and enforcement. Stricter verification of credentials, real audits of employers, clear consequences for fraud on both sides of the transaction, and data that distinguishes between legitimate, high-value talent and volume-driven abuse. Because when when they fail quietly, everyone loses trust. Workers lose faith that the labor market is fair. Employers lose confidence in the pipeline, and policymakers end up fighting culture wars instead of fixing incentives. The H-1B program can still serve America's interests, but only if it's designed to reward real skill, not paperwork theater. That was a mouthful, and I meant every word. If you want to keep up with what's happening now and what's happening next in the world of work, subscribe to my newsletter, The Recruiting Life, over at jimstroud.com. Because when labor systems break, the warning signs don't show up on visas. They show up in paychecks. They show up in careers. And most importantly, they show up in trust.
It is right.